fret friends, we have a very interesting one here. It's a regular client guitar. He brings all his guitars to me. This is probably the 7th. And it's an Epiphone AJ220, very well respected and thought of guitar. But this one is not in great shape. And what's happened here is that this part of the body is sunken into the sound hole. I'm not going to replay that thing, even though I could, because it's going to work out to be too expensive with everything it needs doing. So from here to here, the neck is straight, but from here to there, it sinks down toward the sound hole. Now that, as well as that, the frets are high along the whole length. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 high frets up to fret 15. So we have 7 high frets up to fret 14. Now we're level from 14 down, so we've got to do a whole level anyway. And then from fret 15 onwards, we've got fret 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All of these frets have high spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that gives us 12, 13 frets. 12 frets with high spots. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to level these frets on their own, sloping down, and these frets just level normal. What the client has said to me is, I've told him, I said, look, do you really want to do this with this guitar? Because you'll never sell it, but I can get it playable. And if you want to play it till it dies and batter it, do that. And he says, yeah, I want you to do that. So I'm going to level 1 to 14 with a leveling beam. I'm going to take a shorter leveling beam. I'm going to level 14 down to 19 or whatever it is, 20, slightly down. So these are level, so at least it will be playable. Now, the client loves a low action, so I'm going to also remove a little bit from the saddle because the action is a little bit high, but it gives you the perception that it's higher than it is, because here it's sloping down. Whereas here the action's pretty good, but I'm still going to, it's 1.75 on the bass side, 1.5 on the treble. I'm just going to drop this just a little, but only a tiny bit. I've already cut the nut slots before I remove the string, not before I remove, yes, before I remove the strings, obviously, because I wanted to get everything right at this end. So this is I said to Russ, I said, look, just play the guitar as it is and go and buy something else, save your money. And he says, no, I want you to get playable, I might as well get some use out of it, which is fair, which is right. So it's exactly what I'm going to do. I am on the night bench, by the way. We are 6:30 in the morning. I've been in this workshop 2 hours. I woke up at 4 o'clock. I thought, go to the workshop before I go to my job at Royal Mail later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to level the frets, recrown them, polish them. I'm going to charge him 3 hours labour on this. It's going to take me a bit longer, but he's a regular client. I don't want to charge him too much money. I've already done another guitar of his, so anyway, I'm going to crack on with it. I'm not going to film anything. I just wanted to get it on camera. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring the camera over manually. I'm going to hopefully show the black. In fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the fret locker and we'll put, I've just knocked the nut off, by the way. We'll put the leveling beam, not leveling beam, not straight edge. I don't know if you're going to see from there, but we are dead straight right up to here. Then from here you have got almost a 1mm gap at the bottom here. I'm going to see if I can just zoom in. And at this end we've got a 1mm gap just about under. Let me get, probably not a 1mm, let's get a 0.8mm, 0.7mm feeler gauge. Just going to show 0.7mm, hopefully you can see that. I'm going to hold this and I'm just going to place it underneath. It's not quite 0.7, let's go with 0.5. It always looks bigger when you're looking with light behind something. So let's go, there you go, 0.5. So I've got a massive gap, so it's sloping right down. 0.4 probably even better. Wow, I really exaggerated there, didn't I? And 0.4. And there you go, right underneath there. And let's look at this end. And we are straight along here. Anyway, I'm going to get a leveling beam out. I'm just going to do the lot in one fell swoop. I'm just going to nip in front of the camera. I do apologise for that. I can't get round the back of the camera, so I'm going to nip in front of the camera again. leveling beam, Crimson guitars, ground flat surface, precision ground. I'm going to go with a 240 grit. And I'm just going to level. I was going to show with a fret rocker once I forgot. There's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You see the state of each frets. 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's all your high frets. And then if you do the object, they're supposed to be showing you the frets. So anyway, we're going to really give them some. Got to remove quite a lot of material. This in the trade is what we call a beater. It means the guitar's pretty beat up, it's not going to ever be worth anything to sell, but we can get it playable. And you can get 5 years use out of it. You know, it's only going to be worth anything to the player, but that is absolutely fine. You've seen this all live, by the way, from start to finish. I've not stopped the camera, not moved anything, and all I want is frets 1 to 14 level with each other. That gives us a playing area there. Then we're going to create natural fall off down at this end because it's there anyway. This part of the body is sunk in. I could stick some moisture in there, seal everything, leave it a few days, back clamp it, and I could bring this back up, but we're about that thick under there because it is supported underneath. We're not going to get that straight. If the belly bulge was this side, we could sort it out. Like I said, you know, you could have not spent any money. I've not moved the camera back. Not spent any money and gone and replaced it, but he says I might as well get some use out of it, and he's absolutely right. You might as well. So check where the frets are now. I didn't do an introduction to this video because I wasn't going to video it. I didn't think it was in this sort of state. It was only when I'd took the strings off and saw the state of the dip in the neck. And I talked to the client because I thought it was just going to, you know, bin this. It was not going to actually be a job. Right, I'm going to get actually a file out in a minute. I'm going to level these with a file. Because it has turned out to be quite a big job. It was 4 hours working this. I'm charging them 3 hours labour. Only because it brings me so much work. All these few areas, 1, 2, 3, 4, we are level up to fret 14. So we're going to go again with the 240 grit, just with the leveling beam. Still high there, and a little, we'll sort of there, we'll sort of there, we'll sort of there. So again, just this area, we'll sorry, this area. Like I said to Russ, because he likes such a low action, so if you want a low action here, these frets have got to be precision level, and I mean absolutely level. So there's no point skimping or scrimping on anything, we've got to do it right. You know, it's going to cost you 105 quid, which is cheap, considering the amount of work I'm doing on it. So we have to ask ourselves what has happened to the guitar, why is it sunk here? And it will be a storage problem. It can only be a storage problem, unless could you blame manufacturing. These guitars come in pretty high regard. It's the AJ220 cutaway with preamp. I don't know what preamp it is. I nearly bought one of these myself a few years ago, but instead I went and got something a little bit more special. I went and bought myself a Furch, which is a luthier built handmade guitar from Czech Republic, built by Francek Furch. It is proper fantastic guitar. I'm also having another guitar built at a great cost by a good friend, Paul Toon, a pastor at Bethel Church, a very good friend of mine and a brother in Christ. He's a fantastic builder, and I've got everyone built by him. It's costing me a good few £1,000s. I never thought I'd be in a position to spend £3,000 on a guitar, but there you go. Praise the Lord. One of the benefits of being a man of faith. But anyway, back to where we are. I do prattle. It's early in the morning. I'm going to a job soon. Let's check these frets. So you're seeing this completely live. 6:30 in the morning. We are 6:48 at the moment. I don't know how long the video's been running, I'm just leaving it running. We are level with these frets, right up to fret 14, right up to 15, and there you go. So right up to fret 15 we are level. That is going to be my cut-off point. So we've got this playing area, then we're going to fall away from it. I'm going to get a shorter beam. I don't actually have a shorter beam set up at the moment, so I'm going to go and sort one out. I'm just going to check these. Well, here we go. So fret 15, we're fine up to fret 15, then we're going to go, we're high there. High there, wow, high everywhere. So yeah. So these frets, I'm going to go and grab myself. I think I have a small level boom knocking about somewhere. Never used it. Do I? Yes, I do. Oh, very, very good. Very interesting. I've already got sandpaper on it. I don't know what paper it is. There you go. This will be absolutely fine. Never use this. Oh, well, I've used it, obviously. It's on there. I don't know what paper's on there, but I'm going to use this. I'm just going to check I've got paper up to there. I created that for fall away, so I've got that area with no sandpaper on it. I would normally tape up the fret I don't want to hit. In this case 15. And I'm going to hit it. Okay. So let's go with fret 15 right there. And that's not going to affect anything as long as I don't go too far with this, because that bit is going to go there. Now I am going to hit it a little bit, obviously. This is going to take a little bit longer because let me put a mark on there so I know where I am. I'll do the same this side. And there you go, I can put marks on this so I know where the paper is. And I'm just going to come up to that sort of area. And then I'm just leveling the frets down here. It'll take a little bit longer because this paper on here is not as coarse. So we have removed pen from all frets. Is have we removed enough? Nowhere near. You know what, I'm not even going to faff about with that file, that sandpaper. I'm going to get my leveling file on the go. Proper gear diamond file by Chris Allsop. And this is how we're going to level it. There you go. And you can see I'm just stopping short of about 15 thread. Matter. And there you go, now we're leveling the frets. That file removes gear. It's a little bit high there, I'm just going to go back to that in a second. Everywhere else we are level, so I need to work just this area. These are really sharp now because I've hit it with the file. Guarantee that those frets will be level. Theirs are really scratched up. I'm going to hit it again with this sandpaper. And I am more or less guaranteeing that these will now be level. And they are level. So got frets 1 to 15 level in a straight line this way up to fret 15. From fret 15 downwards this way we have them level in straight lines, sloping slightly downwards. These are going to need a lot of work because they are really scratched up because I've used a file on there, but what I'm going to do is now just use a 400 grit to smooth off these scratches because these scratches are all deep. This is going to remove a lot of the deeper scratches. Just a few strokes. And make it easy to polish, and I'm going to do the same at this end, just angling down from fret 15, so a little bit more pressure on this side. So what we have here now is we have what we call fall away, where it slopes down a little. We actually do put a little bit of fall away sometimes into fret jobs from fret 15 onwards. But there you go, frets are level right up to there. So we're going to play ball, fall away there, frets are all level, and now I need to move on to the next part of the process, which is recrowning. I'll do that when I finish work later. Moved on a little bit on this guitar. I have the frets crowned, ready for polishing. Now crowning, I used my Stumac Z file, It's got a long cut nearest you, short cut nearest me. Flip it over, the complete opposite. Short cut near you, long cut closest to me. Different angles. So diamond file. And this cuts two ways. It cuts that way when you flip it 180 degrees, but what it doesn't do is it does not touch the top of a fret. So because we've levelled them, we know we've lost no height. So we do that first to start rebuilding the crown. We finish off with this lovely file I got from Elmer Guitar Tools. Fantastic crowning file, this beautiful. It's even got a curved end so you can work over the body without digging into anything. Fantastic piece of kit, and it's got a nice medium size there and a wide size there. So that's all done, so I'm ready to polish these frets. And we're going to be going through with the regular 6 grits of sandpaper, blah 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 blah. We'll go over with a little bit of 400 grit first. Let me just cut a piece off, just to remove the deep scratches. This is part used paper I've got over here. It's perfect for what we're doing. And all I really need to do is just to get started, just remove the deep scratches in the pen off the tops using this, and then we'll go through with the 6 grits of paper, grits being 600, 800, 1000, 1200, 1500, 2000. We'll go with a finer grit each time to polish these, remove all the scratches and bring them to a nice shine. We'll finish off with finest grade steel wool, and these frets will look fantastic. So just a reminder, I've levelled all the way up to 15. So we're nice and level there. This is, and from 14 onwards basically it starts going downhill, so I've levelled these going down at a slant. So the guitar will be easily playable. It'll be really quite good. It just won't be perfect. Like I say, it's never going to be a seller, but they only gave me permission to do as I suggested. He's happy, as long as I get the action low on these frets down here. He's not worried about the dusty end. So that's it. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to get these polished. I'm not going to film anything. I'll just get it all done. I'll be removing a little bit of material just from the base side of the saddle, because we're low enough on that side. I'm just going to bring a little bit, probably 0.5 millimetre off this edge here, just sand it down a little, bring this side down a little bit, but that will be it. Back later. So I've whizzed through with the 7 grits of paper. That's all done. Frets are polished. Just need to finish off with the finest grade steel wool. And here it is. And we've made the most of a bad job. Well, not most of a bad job on my part, but what we've done is, because you see it's sunken in here. Now I could have fixed that, but it's time consuming, and because it's time consuming I've got charged for it, you know, and I don't have the space right now to do it. And is it worth spending £250 on a £200 guitar? Well, absolutely not. I've charged him 3 hours for this. So I put more than 3 hours into it, which is very, very happy to pay, he says. And I did another guitar for him, and I've just charged him an hour. I wasn't going to charge him anything for that. Sorting some electrics out, and again I put a new capacitor in there, blah blah blah. And he says, look, I won't charge you for that. He says, no, so I've got to pay you for you. So he's paying me 4 hours for work on 2 guitars. Yeah, he's a good client. And then he's coming to pick them up tomorrow. And something else I've got to do on this, I'm going to shave some off this side of the saddle later. But yeah, let's talk about his frets. So we level up to fret 15, then we've got some fall off right down to the end because the body sinks in here for whatever reason. It's probably been stored not right, in the wrong conditions. But yeah, steel wool just going over these frets, and these will come out beautiful. Will come out no scratches, come out super shiny, and like I say, we've made the best of a bad job. At least the guitar will be playable for years to come. Unless that sinks in anymore and gets worse, it won't get that much worse. But Russ is quite happy just to get this playable. He wanted the action lowering a bit. I've already cut the nut slots. I'm going to glue the nut back in a minute. These frets are done. I'm knocking off at 7 tonight. It's Friday night. I want to spend some time with the wife. It's 7 minutes to 7. But there you go. That's the frets done, and they look fantastic. I can now undo this clamp at this end, free the guitar. That's all done. F clamps are great tool, great piece of kit. These F clamps. So we'll stick that out of the way. Stick that in there out of the way. So yeah, frets are done. I can discard this glove and I can peel off this tape. And we can see the fruits of our labour. I'm just going to reveal a few of the frets. I've had a tough week today. Back at Royal Mail this week, full time. And my legs, it's been hard work on my legs. I was a super busy day yesterday. It's busy as Christmas because of the bank holiday. I was having last Friday and Monday off. Tuesday was a slow day. Wednesday was horrific. Triple parcels, triple mail. I finished at, started at 8 yesterday. I was supposed to finish at 2. I finished at 4:05 yesterday. And I went out twice. I did my own round. Well, I only did my own round, but it took me 2 goes yesterday. Normally get it all done in 1 go. But yesterday I had to leave some at the office and go back for it because I couldn't fit it in my trolley and in my bags. So yeah, so pretty much aching, but I'm on a long weekend. We have a day off a week at Royal Mail, and it rotates. So it starts on a Monday and it cycles through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday until you get to Saturday. When you get to the Saturday, the 6th day, the following week, it's the first day of your day off. So we get Saturday off, Monday off, so we get a long weekend. So I'm on a long weekend, so it's been brilliant for me. I've just done 4 days straight, and getting back into doing 32,000 or 30,000 steps a day when you've done nothing since Christmas is tough going. My legs ache a bit, but I've got 3 days off now. I'm going to be fine. Going to be absolutely fine. And what I'll do is tomorrow, Saturday and Monday, days I've got off, I'll spend all day in the workshop catching up on some jobs and meeting deadlines, having a good time. The great thing about working on guitars like I do, yeah, look at these frets, they look fantastic. The great thing about having this job is it started out as a hobby. I mean, guitars have always been big in my life, but you know, to have a hobby like this and to make money from it and to have it as a career is just what a blessing that is. But there you go, that is frets all done. Now you're not really going to get to see how good they are until we put some oil on the neck. And to give us a bit of contrast, just going to spray this way. I'm just going to rub, that's just mineral oil, you know it's lemon oil, and we're just going to rub some of that in here and there to treat the wood. But this has been in 2 dry places, guitar, because the neck is so dry, or the fingerboard is so dry, and that's why it's sunk in at that end. It's been stored incorrectly. I'm not sure the exact climate you need to store a guitar. Just check that. I'll just check it myself. But if you don't store them right, we're going to warp one way or another. Something's going to happen. But there you go. And that is the frets. All polished. Just get that on there. Just wipe off the excess of this. Let's see the frets. And they look absolutely fantastic. But that is it. I'm not going to glue nut on tonight because I've got oil on my neck now. I'll glue it on in the morning. But that is it. The frets are done. They've been levelled, been recrowned, been polished. And that's the best I could have done with this guitar. So back tomorrow. Right, friends, so last night well, this morning I glued the nut back on. I polished the frets up. I treated the fingerboard. I removed all the tape. And the guitar is ready for, I put the truss rod cover, well not truss rod cover, just headstock cover, truss rods at this end. Put it all back together and got it ready for re-stringing. One other thing I did is I shaved a little bit off this side of the saddle to bring the action down this side. The action's already low that side, so just brought a little bit off this side. I'm thinking that's just about right. So we now have a straight neck up to fret 14, then it dips down, and you're probably going to be able to see it if I hold the guitar here. What's happening is you get to there, the bridge dips down into the body because it's just sunken in. Can you see it there? So like I say, we're levelled up to there, then we're levelled down that way. It's all we could do. I personally think the strings are going to be a little bit too low on this guitar. 1.5mm is a bit low for an acoustic, but it's what the client wants, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put strings on it in a second. I'm just going to show, I've got this, see my chest of drawers over here, which it pulls out, and when it pulls out we have bits of sandpaper on there for filing. bottom of saddles. That's how I do it. And once it's all done, I just push this back under and we're out of the way. And that works for me. So I'm going to grab some strings on, clean everything up, get it tuned in. Hope I haven't got the action too low, because if I have, I've got to come under there again and put a shim under it, and I don't want to have to do that. I know with nuts lots of fine. So that's it. I'm going to put the old strings on. Even though he sent a set of new ones, if you can keep the old ones, can you put the old ones on? I says, yeah, I'll do that. So there's the old ones. We're going to put them on. Once it's done, we'll come back, we'll tie up this video and move on to something else. And there we are, friends, we are all done. And I couldn't have done any more than I've actually done with this guitar. It came in, I didn't know at the time, that this part of the neck is sunk into the body, or sunk in toward the sandal. So this part's sunk in. The guitar has definitely been stored in the wrong conditions. I would hazard a guess that the guitar has been stored in a really dry condition somewhere. I only say that because the fingerboard wood was so dry, when I put oil on it, it basically came to life. Don't quote me on that, because I don't actually know how heat, temperature and humidity actually affects wood. I just do know, I actually do know how to correct it. And I know that correcting a problem like this, we need to get moisture back into the wood. So I would hazard a guess that this has been too dry. That's sunk in that way. It may, in time with humidity, come back. I don't know. But result of everything, or the crux of the matter, is that the neck is straight from here to here, but here it sinks in. So I've levelled the frets from there to there, then levelled the frets that way, coming at a slope. Maybe you can see that. Right along here it's straight, but when you get to here, it sinks in. So I've done what I can. I've levelled the frets, recrowned and polished them. I've cut the nut slots. I've shaved something from beneath the saddle on this side, brought the action right down. Nice low action on this. Neck is virtually a tiny bit of relief in it. It plays really well. I've had it plugged, well, I had it plugged in. I plugged it in, it does work, but I have played it and it sounds, it's got quite a nice big sound to it. And yeah, there you go. So Epiphone AJ220 SCE VS. That's vintage sunburst for VS. The CVE will be a something cutter. Isn't it? It's not cutaway, is it? I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, semi-acoustic, nice looking thing. Had a full setup. Had the frets levelled. Had the nut cut. Done what I can in regards to the frets, and very nice looking guitar. I've charged him 3 hours for this. In fact, I haven't charged him 3 hours, because I've charged him 4 hours for 2 guitars, and I've knocked him 20 quid off. So I've charged just over 3 hours for 2 guitars. So I've cut him a real good deal there. Only because, in as much as this has needed a lot of work to get it to play, get it playable, but it's a guitar he'll never be able to sell. He will get enjoyment out of it, and he will get play out of it for a long time to come. But I just felt 140 quid was a little bit more than you ought to be paying, so it's done. Anyway, got much to do today. It's Saturday morning. I've got 2 more guitars coming in today, 2 clients coming, 1 new client, 1 client I've not seen for a few years. It's 8:34 in the morning. We are Saturday the 10th of April, year of our Lord 2021. This one's done. I'm going to move on to the next one. Just remind you my website before I go, fretfriend.co.uk. Best place to find out top information on me is facebook.com/ng17. That's facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. I am Victor. I am your fret friend. Until the next one, as always, God bless you. Be good to each other. I'll see you in the next one.